Okay guys, before I get into too much of the craziness, I'm going to show you a couple of things. My name's Richard. Bought this 95 ZJ brand new. 95, it's got 370 something thousand miles on it now. And for the last year I've had all kind of aggravation with it. But changing out this crank position sensor, I'm going to show you something that'll help you a whole lot. I used a scope. I got this at Amazon. It's Dips Tech. Now I'm going to turn it on, and I've already downloaded the app on my phone. Go to the app, hit start. Okay guys, I'm back and trying to replace this crank sensor. It is over behind the passenger side valve cover, down back behind the head, and it is a booger bear to get to and replace. Of course, this goes down in the hole in the bell housing, and then the pigtail connects up top. First time I replaced it, I didn't use this. I had to get that exhaust gas EGR valve pipe moved out of the way and everything, and still couldn't see it, so I had to do it all by feel. And it's either a 1/4 or a 6mm hex head that you need to use. Either one of them will work. So, and doing that now, I'll show you. I got this off Amazon. It's Dips Tech. I'm going to turn it on. I've already downloaded the app to the phone. You can record and take still pictures of it with it. I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not. That's what it's looking at right now, the oil filler cap. Now, what I did, I took that camera and stuck it over top of the valve cover gasket and maneuvered it down there where I could see the top of the crank sensor. But then I had to also move it, and I had to take that heat shield off the exhaust manifold and then move it around in there on the side to see the bottom bolt. And it was aggravating, but I was able to get in there with a long hex head and an extension, remove both the bolts, pull that crank sensor out. The other one, feeding it back in and getting those bolts back in, I had to put a piece of tape around the hex head and stick it in the top of the bolt head to keep it tight where it wouldn't fall off. If we had a magnetized hex head, you might be able to just use that and then feed it back over in there. And of course I dropped the blooming bolt a couple of times, and I was lucky enough to find them and finally get them back in. So that took care of that, but this has been a tremendous help on a couple of other items that you can't see, and you have to do a lot of stuff by feel. Now I'm going to stop this and then get back into my other problems. Okay, like I said, I bought this one new. It's now got 75,000 miles, maybe 377. I can't say anything good about these Chrysler transmissions. It's on its third one. But anyway, for the last year and a half, I've been having hard start problems when it's cold. I've replaced all the sensors, all kind of stuff, and I'll connect a couple other videos so you can see them. But I finally narrowed it down. I replaced the computer. It solved the cranking problem. but I got a bad computer, the first one I got. And I ended up getting another computer. It worked, but then another problem developed in the meantime. It would just start cutting off, just dying, cutting off. So I've been doing research, and it looked like it was the security. They were going to get the security cut off. Research, changed relays, all kind of stuff. But finally, this morning's the first time it's actually cranked back up and running until it gets warm. But now I'm going to show you how you can check codes on the inside there with the key. Turn the key on and off. I did it 3 times, but it says do it 4 or 5 times and leave the key on. And then the check engine light will start flashing. It will flash codes. Mine flashed a 1 and then a 2. At 12, I looked it up, and it said that the computer had been disconnected within the last 50 cranking cycles, which it had several times. But I also got a 42 code, 4 flashes, and then a dash, and then 2 flashes. And that showed a short or an open circuit in the auto shutoff, or possibly fuel pump circuitry. Fuel pump's supposed to have been replaced. This crank sensor was replaced. I guess the guys replaced it, but anyway, I had to replace it with a Mopar instead of aftermarket. And so this morning it finally cranked up and ran until it got warm. First time it's done that in I don't know how long. But it is idling real low. I think maybe map sensor or idle air control valve, or maybe the that other valve up here on the side of it may be at fault for it. It'll fluctuate with the RPM. But I will show you how to do that on the codes on the inside. Now before I show you how to do the codes, I'm going to see if it'll crank back up. Hadn't been cranking back up. So I'll use the original key. It's about worn frail. But let's see if it'll crank back up. How about that? Now like I say, it's idling low, but it is cranking back up, so I think that crank sensor was that problem, the latest problem of cutting off. And then the cranking problem originally was the computer. Not bad for 373,893 miles, is it? 50 pounds oil pressure at idle, at temperature. Okay, let me show you how to get to the codes. Okay, we're going to turn the ignition switch on and off 3 times quickly, and then turn it back on and leave it on and watch for that check engine light. Okay, it's starting to flash. 2, 3, or either that was 1 and then 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, that's still 12 and a 42. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, well, it flashed a couple other codes. I've got to check that out again and look them up. But the 5 code, when it flashes 5 and 5, that's 55. That means it has completed flashing the codes. So I need to do this again and actually take note of the other codes it read, so I can see what it may tell me. The position sensor, crank position, not the position sensor, but the idle air control valve, the map sensor, or either that other valve up there. I can't think of the name of it. But anyway, that's how you read those codes if you don't have an OBD1 code reader. This is 95's OBD1. And if you need the website to the code diagnosis, shoot me an email. If a lot of people need it, I will try to put it in the description on this video. But otherwise, shoot me a message and I'll send you the link to it, or I probably need to just put the link on there anyway. But anyway, that'll take care of us for right now.